Warning, the Spoilercast does contain spoilers of current and past movies, books, video games, TV shows, and possibly your life. So if you're listening to a show called Spoilercast and you're pissed off that we gave away spoilers, we really don't care. Thanks again and have a wonderful day.
Hello and welcome to Spoilercast by All Tower Media. I am Roper, and I am again joined by Jareth. How are you?
Hey, hi, diddly.
Hey, hi, diddly is a good answer. And Josie, how are you?
Hello.
Hello. And Dire Monkey?
Yo.
We're talking about your people tonight, sir.
We are?
Yeah, Planet of the Apes.
Oh,
yes.
Awesome.
Specifically, War for Planet of the Apes. I know we're going kind of out. Oh, were you?
Mm-hmm.
And how did it play out?
Yeah. Few cuts and bruises.
I mean, okay.
Pain heals, chicks dig scars, all that, you know.
I mean, given the fight at the end of that movie, I find that suspect.
All right, so what did you think about this?
The movie or them riding horses?
No, the movie in general.
Didn't we already talk about riding horses and monkeys?
Yeah,
Yes.
well, and
Because they do it in almost every fucking movie.
That's true.
Okay.
All right, so fair. Okay,
Just
so that's
any
actually,
movie that has monkeys, they ride horses. Even if
I don't think that's actually. I don't think that's actually a thing because the one in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back doesn't actually ride a horse.
Yes, they do.
Does it ride a horse?
They do.
He doesn't ride a horse, or the monkey doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Does it really?
Because they throw a net over.
No, it doesn't.
It throws a net over Randall.
Does it really? Oh my God, you're gonna blow my mind if this thing's actually riding them. Is this a thing? Is this like a Hollywood thing that I'm not aware of? Is that
It's like a weird secret thing that Hollywood thinks that all monkeys can ride horses.
That it's adorable or something? Jay and Silent Bob, monkey. You're going to find the whole movie if you do that. Okay, so he's not wrong because there's a whole scene with them in doing the Planet of the Apes thing.
Oh, yeah.
I totally forgot about that. And then he starts talking about, the monkeys will rise up and spank us.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. There's a whole scene of them riding horses, and they've got guns, but this is...
Don't fuck with me on the Jay and Silent Bob trivia.
How?
Okay, fair enough.
And that one's licking the guy's brain. Yeah, okay. All right, I love that. That's fantastic. That's...
Overall, I liked the movie. To get to the question that was asked.
Yes, okay. Josie, what did you think of the movie?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah? So, Dire Monkey, have you seen this?
No, I want to, but
Okay.
you go to movies when I can't go.
Oh.
So.
Well, I try not to, but sometimes I do.
Remember when we were talking about asking for help? I need help going to the movies.
Well, sometimes you need to drag yourself away from work.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yes, indeed. So, Josie?
Yes. You didn't ask a question. You just said my name.
You're right. It's just that
I'm just going to throw this out there right now. Can
What?
we do a whole podcast just using movie quotes?
we could try.
That should
Bumblebee our way through this bullshit.
That should be a goal one day.
I mean,
It would have to be pre-written, though.
to
we
a
did
degree.
at the jail.
To a degree.
I mean, technically, anything that we say can be a movie quote.
You think?
I mean, there's a really good chance.
There's a high probability. It's just it would be difficult. I think you're looking for iconic movie quotes.
Well,
Is that what you're more or less looking for?
more or less, yeah.
Okay.
Well, get your hands off me, you damn dirty ape.
That's from 2 movies.
Yep. Actually, multiple movies, because almost everybody
Well,
uses
yeah,
that line.
they do that
Yeah.
one quite regularly. I'm just thinking of the actual Planet of the Apes franchise. That's at least 2 of them. Because they have the one in the original, and then the dude that plays Malfoy. That's in... what was it? It was not Rise of. Was it Rise of Planet of the Apes?
No, because Rise was the second one.
Was it Rise? Okay, I think Rise was the first and Dawn of was the second one.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember.
I think Rise of Planet of the Apes is the first
like
one,
the
and then Dawn of the second. Planet of the Apes is the second one,
It's
and
like
then
the stupid Nolan Batman movies.
right,
Because
yeah, that one.
The first one's called...
Okay, so it is Rise of Planet of the Apes is 2011. Then Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is 2014, and then War of Planet of the Apes is 2017. So yeah, it would be Rise, then Dawn, then War.
Wasn't Malfoy like a total asshole zookeeper?
He is.
Okay.
Well, I don't know
I
if
mean,
they
he's
quali-
Malfoy-esque.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it qualifies as a zoo though.
It's like a monkey kennel.
It is a monkey kennel. That is a better way.
Why is there a monkey kennel?
I don't know. So, okay, they have the Disgruntled one. Do you remember what the evil Disgruntled one's name is?
In which?
In Rise, the scarred one that Caesar
Or
keeps
you mean
having.
Dawn?
Coda.
Coda.
Koba. And it was in Dawn.
Yeah.
He was in the first one too, but he was more of a problem in the second one.
Yeah, 'cause
Yes.
he's the one who
Because-
actually starts the bullshit.
Yeah, because in the first movie, it's just fucking Malfoy who's a problem. Because
Right.
Koba's part of the getting everybody out. In the second one, that's when Koba's
Well, yeah, because he has the held up hostility.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what. Okay, and that's
He has
what
the
starts all
pent-up
of.
issues.
That's what starts up all of the conflict. Is Caesar doesn't really actually have a problem with humans. I mean, for the most part.
Well, because him and Franco had that relationship. And in Dawn,
Right.
Yeah, in Dawn, he finds the very heavily edited footage of him and Franco.
Right. Which those type of things always make me wonder where the cameras were because it's just edited footage from the original film, right?
Well, no. That one actually made sense because
Did
it
it?
was supposed to be the footage that Franco himself was recording.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's just that they had to update it because the technology between the two movies had gotten much better.
Okay. So I don't remember the specifics of it. All I remember is that for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, they inject Caesar with the serum, which makes him individually smarter.
Well, it's the Franco is trying to create a cure for Alzheimer's because I think it was his dad.
Yeah, John Lithgow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, I forgot he was in this.
Yeah. He had Alzheimer's and he was like, I'm going to cure it. Teaches Caesar sign language or does all the experiments with it, teaches Caesar sign language. But then one of the byproducts of that is the disease kills us.
Right. The simian flu.
Which is not necessarily, like, it does technically cure Alzheimer's.
Yeah, it does. It
Like,
technically
you
does.
don't have Alzheimer's anymore, but you do have a bad case of the dead.
Yeah.
That's, I don't think that's a fair trade.
Well, and then
Well, I mean, have you seen the fucking trade-off for, like, some of the allergy medications out there?
I mean, true.
They're like rectal bleeding, allergy-like symptoms, and
that's
thoughts
what,
of
like-
suicide.
You might as well be dead.
that's like everything on fucking TV. Anything. All of the fucking warnings that are like, oh yeah, here's this pill for that slight irritation in your eyes you get during springtime for 1 week, and all of the side effects can fucking kill you.
Yep,
Hey, Jareth,
worth it.
you're basically living off of that, right?
I mean, normally.
Because,
Well, no, you're
grass kills you.
You're also surviving off of the over-the-counter stuff. Like, it's the stuff
Yeah.
you have to get prescriptions for that, like, straight up can murder you.
So with
Yeah.
this, okay, so they...
It also that disease when you get to war, we find out through a few different characters that
it's mutated?
that it's mutated, and instead of killing humans, because humans would have desperately tried to stop it killing them.
Right.
Well, not only that, it's now affecting people who were previously immune.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much what we're seeing at this point in time. So for War of the Planet of the Apes, at this point, most of the people that are left behind are the people that are immune or survived it.
Yeah, they pretty
So they've
much-
avoided it and or are immune to it. But those that are immune to it are now coming down with a new ailment, which is being a mute.
well
to begin with?
It's a lack of intelligence.
Eventually.
So you lose your ability to speak, and you clearly they don't understand what's happening.
Right. So well,
It's kind of like super Alzheimer's.
so it's almost like it's a role reversal.
Well, yeah,
Right.
because that's
So-
how it makes sense that we suddenly became cavemen.
Right. Well, that and
Like,
what you're
or
referring
reverted.
to there is like the older films, which is the future of this franchise.
Yeah, they had to make it make sense.
Right. So what they ended up doing was this role reversal kind of thing, where the thing that's facilitating the apes to get smarter and become bigger and better is the same thing that's devolving us to more primitive.
DEVO.
Yes.
Are we not men?
Oh my god.
So this virus is kind of like the super gun from Super Mario Brothers.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the Devo gun.
Cool.
Yep.
We're gonna get Super Mario in every.
I love that. I love you for that. All day I love you for that.
It doesn't make it a good movie, though.
It doesn't
But
matter. It doesn't matter.
It's so good.
It is.
It's so good at being bad.
Thank you.
I love it.
So, I love that movie so
Bob
much.
Hoskins,
It's awful.
John Leguizamo, just all day, every
I'm
day.
just wrecking it. Anyway, so
Everybody do the dinosaur, God damn it.
so the Goombas are dancing again. Anyway, so the soldiers in this film are kind of bad at being soldiers,
Well,
Yeah.
like super bad at being soldiers.
Stormtrooper bed.
No,
Not
I mean,
that bad.
Not that bad.
I mean, they hit what they're aiming at.
yeah.
Is
So,
more
okay.
like
and Woody Harrelson's actually,
He's a madman.
he's a madman.
He's a
but
madman.
He
John-
actually has some kind of fucking, military background.
John Madman.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. So okay, so you start this film off with these troops that are kind of like marching through this tall grass area, and they've got a gorilla with them. One of the
That they
one of the
call
apes.
they call donkeys.
And it's got donkey sprayed across the middle of its back, and yeah, it's exactly what you think. It's for Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
So they yell at it and they refer to it as donkey, and it's carrying like guns and stuff for them. And what these apes were followers of Koba that
Defected.
can't find refuge with Caesar and all of his because they tried to revolt. And
Well,
so they're like, look, Caesar needs to go. You need to be the one to die. So we're going to help the humans make that succeed. Jesse, go ahead.
Well, it's kind of the enemy of my enemy.
Exactly. But as they're moving along, they find an encampment. They're trying to find Caesar and his base. That's what they're looking for. And they're getting close, but they hadn't quite got there yet. And at the end of it, there were only like, 5 or 6 that ended up actually like surviving the battle, because like the apes end up like firing a shit ton of arrows down on top of them and kill like all of the troops that are there, even though they're like shooting a grenade launcher and all sorts of good stuff at them. But at the end of it, they've still got one of the apes that was the betrayer, and then they've got a bunch of the soldiers. There's at least 4 soldiers, because they end up tying 2 of them back to back and then send them on their way.
Yeah.
And then the one ape ends up getting away because he ends up striking the other one in the face.
Specifically, the one that he talks to, the guy who had the crossbow,
Yes.
is the one who ends up killing Caesar in the end,
Yes.
which was kind of like a big old middle finger. It's like, your mercy is what killed you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
It was one of those moments, late game of that film. Did Caesar die in this? He did. Yes. At the very, very, very end. He ended up escaping, but he did die.
I mean, he apparently crossed like several states
Right?
with a pretty serious injury.
None of the other ones noticed.
It was like under his armpit. So
Right. I mean, sure.
Well, and he's supposed to be the stoic older leader type, so that, in at least screenwriting, makes sense.
So they're trying to... Woody Harrelson's character, his mission and what he's come down to do is kill Caesar. That's what he's there for. He's convinced Caesar's still alive.
Is his
All that
name
good
Brute?
business. No.
Should be.
No.
I mean, it is standard batshit insane, like natural born killers style Woody Harrelson in this movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So not Woody from Cheers.
No.
So they end up finding out where his base is, and they go to raid the place. And in the crossfire of things, Caesar's kid, well, I shouldn't say crossfire. It wasn't actually crossfire.
they thought it was Caesar.
They thought it was Caesar, and they kill Caesar's son,
His
thinking that
older
it's him.
son.
His older son, thinking it's him. And Woody Harrelson is the one that ends up doing it. And he turns around. Of course, Caesar like shows up like as this has just happened. Suddenly he dawns on Woody Harrelson that, oh, whoops, that's not you. That's you. And he starts shooting at him, and he ends up bailing out of there. And there's this whole like moment where, you know, they're trying to like fight one another as they're going up a zip line towards the top of a waterfall. It's actually kind of crazy. But Caesar ends up getting his people out of there, sending them on their merry way, and he's decided he himself is going to go track down Woody Harrelson and take revenge for the death of his son. Well, there's 2 others that end up coming with him. There's the orangutan,
Maurice.
3.
Maurice,
Yeah, Maurice goes with him.
Rocket.
Rocket.
Who is another regular ape.
which is like Caesar, and then
Who
there's
does the sign language instead of the talking?
and then there's the silverback, the really big one.
Whose name I can't remember
I can't
offhand.
remember his name.
I only can remember Maurice's name.
Yeah, there's Maurice
Because I
and
love
Rocket.
Maurice.
And I loved Rocket. And then
Rocket is fun.
as they're going along, they end up finding a house, and they're like, this has to be where they're at. And they get there, and it's not. There's a guy and his daughter, and the daughter's one of these mutes.
Presumably his daughter.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. But they end up killing the guy, and they find the little girl, and the little girl is mute. Something's wrong with her. And Maurice decides that he's like, look, we can't leave her, and I can't leave her.
Like he pretty much Maurice. It's Maurice is like, we have to do something. She's defenseless. She's clearly not comprehending anything. Like, it's not just that she's mute. She's like constantly confused because her brain has gone primitive.
Right.
Although she does seem to kind of clear that up later.
Yeah,
Well,
she kind of goes back and forth on her cognitive ability.
I think it's more of because Maurice is constantly teaching her. He's constantly trying to teach her because he's a loving, caring. Like, all of the movies, Maurice has always been the super lovey, like,
Orange Tang.
but like, he's genuinely teaching her.
Right.
So it's kind of like you got all of your intelligence, then hit reset, and now he's having to do it all over again.
Right.
But now the virus keeps them, the part of the brain that develops speech just is not working.
Now, after they found her, they end up getting some horses. And this is shortly thereafter, they end up going to the beach.
Afterwards.
They end up getting to the beach. And that's whenever
Following way too close to the soldiers.
They literally see the soldiers like trekking by. Okay.
Well, that's a problem in movies in general. Is they have to do that in order to make sure you have
I mean, they could have
the
done
framing correct.
They could have done a bunch of different things.
I mean, they could have like stopped on the beach and been like, oh, tire tracks.
Right.
And like a shitload of footprints. That totally means the
it all
soldiers.
suggests that it goes this way. Yeah. I mean, there
instead of like being like 20 feet behind them,
Dire Monkey, it's bad. Like, they see them all go driving and crashing by, and then they wait, and then they themselves proceed out onto the same beach.
When he says wait, he means like count to 3.
There's like line of sight between them. If any one of the soldiers in the little group that's traveling that direction would have turned, like even half turned, they'd have been like, hey, do you know there's like 3 horses behind us? Does anyone know who those 3 horses are?
One of them looks like it's got a gorilla on.
Yeah, it's super weird. And then they would have gone back and addressed said problem. Like, it is a straight up line of sight. It's like
same problem when a tall building falls and they all run the length.
Yeah, the length of the building. Yeah,
or the Prometheus run.
Yeah, instead of left and or right.
All she had to do was go
sideways.
One direction.
Yep, pick a direction
Like
and
That
go.
wasn't forward. No, it's where yes, it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's that's one of the things that I'm like, you should be willing to suspend disbelief because it was probably done for time.
Okay.
In the movie.
Sure.
Because
I mean, I guess I could grant a little bit of that.
It's not like worse movies that.
No. It's this. I mean, it's got a 7.9.
Oh yeah.
7.6 for Dawn. That's Dawn, not War.
Oh.
I think War Planet is 7.9, if I recall.
Yeah, it's like that's a tiny problem that a lot of really good movies
7.9
fucking do. Like, you'll have war movies based on actual things in history,
right?
And you're like, there's no way in hell they were that fucking close behind. But for framing or for time, they make them way too close together.
Right. It's just, it seemed...
Especially whenever you chalk that up with all of the other things that these military guys are doing so poorly at being military guys.
True. Well, because the thing they want you to understand as an audience is these weren't soldiers. These were people who became soldiers after all of this shit started happening. A lot of them were probably children when the virus first like erupted, and they happened to be immune, and so a lot of them probably were raised in fucking safe houses out of fear of the fucking apes, especially because Koba was still a fucking problem for a long time. And then now they have Psycho Mick Baldy fucking forcing them to try and be pretty much SEALs.
Right.
And that's like making Jareth go out on a fucking SEAL mission.
Yeah, but he can do that. This is the immortal Jareth we're talking about.
Well,
Why are we taking shots at Jareth?
This
No,
isn't
no.
a shot. You're the immortal Jareth.
No, he wouldn't, because he's the immortal Jareth, he wouldn't stealth, though.
Oh, yeah. He just tanked through everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he wouldn't stealth through the fucking thing.
Right.
Bullets ain't no thing.
So next we get to this moment where I guess I don't remember why they stop. It's a vantage point. They find that tower, that metal
Yeah, they were
cell
trying
tower.
Because they stopped
That's what it was.
to talk to, or
They
to
stopped
find
to talk
the
to
soldiers.
the 3 dead guys.
Well, the 3 dying guys, yeah. And then, so
2 of them were dead. The third one was kind of dead.
Yeah.
He was mostly dead.
Well, I believe they had killed, no, I think he had killed them and was about to kill himself because they had,
He was in a grave. They all shot them.
and his throat had been cut.
Yeah.
oh.
The other soldiers had executed them because they were infected.
Because of their orders. But that one, he'd survived, and he was also muted, just like the girl was. And they're like,
Also, his throat has been cut. So.
Something's wrong with him.
Well, yeah, that was the first indication that it wasn't, because when you first meet the girl,
Right.
you just kind of think like, oh, well,
she's just this how she
yeah,
was.
she's just mute.
Yeah.
She can hear clearly because she has minimal responses, but she still acknowledges Caesar when he talks. But then we meet the soldier who also has the mute problem, and fucking then that's when Caesar realizes, oh shit,
This is a thing.
this
Well, he
might
does-
have something to do with the fucking virus.
I don't know if he recognizes it right then. I know that he recognizes that something else is happening. I just don't think that he puts that together
It may
that
not have
quickly.
been. It may not have been specifically Caesar. It may have been one of the other, like Rocket or Maurice, or sadly the silverback that we can't remember the name
Right.
of.
Tonka truck.
No. All I do know is that as soon as they get their vantage point, they end up coming. Well, that's when they meet the thrill of this film. I love this guy.
Oh, bad ape.
Bad
Yeah.
Ape is the best.
He is fucking awesome.
Bad Ape is wonderful because he steals their horse and they chase after him. Now here's the deal. I have a problem first off with the horse riding aspect to begin with. Scroll back up for me if you would not mind, please, sir.
Why?
Because there is a picture right here of them all on these horses. These are like what, Mustangs, little horses. I mean, they're tiny. And
Well, they're
you've got-
definitely tiny compared to.
by the size of like Maurice and the other silverback that's there with them. Now, as soon as we were done with the film, they're like, "What'd you think?" And I was already Googling the carrying capacity of a horse versus the average weight of a silverback.
Which the average weight of a gorilla is 400 pounds. That's dead center.
Dead
You'd
center.
think they'd at least get some Clydesdales.
Yeah, they need. I mean, these horses would carrying capacity would be rough for these guys.
No, they need pocket ponies.
And then, after one of the horses got stole, you know what they did?
They double up.
They double up on one of them, and they still proceed to chase down Bad Ape, and they're like right on his tail. And then they get there and they find him and he's hiding. And of course, to begin with, he's wearing like a coat and gloves and stuff. And so you think it's just a person.
Yeah.
And then it's not. It's just another ape. But this one talks just like Caesar does.
Well, not just
I mean, John,
but
he actually talks more than Caesar does, like quite a bit more.
yeah, he talks a lot, but he also speaks less intelligently.
Yes,
He's less articulate.
very.
But he also has taught himself English.
Which is
Clearly.
impressive.
Yeah.
Well, it's part of that.
Part of the virus, yeah. But he knows where the soldiers are, and he refuses to go. But
Well, yeah, because he's not stupid.
Oh no! That's a bad place.
His fucking
His name is Bad Ape.
they all gone long time thing.
Oh, long time.
Oh, so sad.
But he's hilarious, and he gets mad because the girl, which they end up calling Nova as a result of the fact that she likes the little metal disc that he has. It's from a Chevy Nova. And he took the decal off of the front of a car.
Wasn't Nova from the original Planet of the Apes?
I think that's also a thing.
Potentially, it may have been a reference to the originals.
Oh, is it a nod we missed?
May have been.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, I saw the original one when I was like I want to say 17. And I only saw it
1968. Nova.
once.
Yeah, Linda Harrison. Nova.
Cool. Yeah, I only saw it once when I was a teenager.
She's the one in the cage with Charlton Heston.
See, that's all right. So that's big times nods, and I wasn't even aware.
And that's the girl?
That's the little girl in this. Her name is Nova.
So that probably becomes her.
Maybe.
Potentially. It may have been just a nod.
Maybe.
I'm gonna go with a nod because the Charlton Heston movie takes place centuries.
I was about to say
after.
that this is supposed to be after they've established themselves. This is clearly like just after the virus and everything's kicked off. There's still a lot of trucks and guns, and human beings are clearly still a powerful influence on the planet. Whereas in the future one with Charlton Heston, then you're looking at
The apes are now fully evolved, and they have a full society.
like they have
forgotten.
They have no concept of him being an astronaut and being intelligent at that level.
Yeah, like to them, humans have always been these primitive
workforce dumb things.
Yeah, and well, even on that, in the original movie, the monkeys have evolved to the point that they stand up straight. They're now average human height instead of being about 4 foot.
Right.
Because like even the silverback is not hitting 6 foot.
Right.
So, yeah. Well, I mean, mostly that's because it was made in the 70s and it was just monkey mess. But
right.
Like these movies at least made it make sense.
Right. So then you track down where the soldiers are, but that's when we suddenly realized that Caesar's family and friends didn't actually get away. They were actually captured and brought here.
Well, because part of, like Maurice, one of the big things that Rocket Maurice keep trying to pound into Caesar's head throughout this movie, the minute he goes on this revenge bullshit, is how is this going to fix anything? Like,
you're no better than Koba.
Yeah, you've become no better than Koba because it's no longer about us making ourselves better. It's now about you getting your petty revenge.
There's a thing right here that specifically says the little girl named Nova is named after the character played by Linda Harrison in the first and second films in the original franchise. Right there on IMDb.
Cool.
So anyway, continue on. Yeah, he is hellbent on going and
killing
Woody Harrelson.
It's pretty much cool, you're no better than him because you're doing the exact same fucking thing as him.
Correct.
Is his character just called the Colonel? Does he have a name?
He's the Colonel.
Okay, so he's just the Colonel.
Well, I mean, he's gotten to the level of batshit insanity out of that. I don't even think he knows his own goddamn name anymore.
Well,
see,
now I just wish he had a bucket of chicken all the time.
I mean, yeah. No, so the thing is that I understand calling him batshit insane, but what he's fighting for and what his goal is...
survival for the human race as he sees it.
Exactly. Which...
Well, partly because he also has a revenge aspect of it, because I think... Didn't he lose his kid?
Well,
he had to kill his kid because he was infected.
Because they were infected, and he was like, "Look, you don't understand. We have to preserve humanity, and that means we're going to have to make this sacrifice."
Which is why he gave that whole personal speech,
the spiel about how this isn't anything personal. That's exactly where that came from. But he was like, "That's why
I killed my own kid to make this happen."
He's like, you burn the remains, you kill these people, and you burn their bodies. We need to make sure that this is contained. It is literally about survival of humanity, and that is what he's going for. And whether or not we see it as batshit crazy or not, he sees it as survival. This is strictly justification for survival. Look, I don't want to, but this is the goal. And
he kind of wants to.
I mean, sort of.
Super wants to. Yeah, insane people have plenty of justifications in their own head for the evil and or batshit insane things they do. I mean,
right.
We're currently living through that.
Yup.
So we end up finding out that they're doing kind of like this tunneling Great Escape kind of thing, right? And they're trying to get all the apes out of there. And it's a race against the clock because there's supposed to be more men coming. And I think they did.
Mormon?
More men are coming.
Mormon are coming?
Oh my God. Yes. So,
not Mormons.
No. They're going to knock on the door with pamphlets. Anyway, so they I think I personally think they did a good job at masking the fact that it wasn't more reinforcements are coming.
That it was another force was coming to stop these guys.
Him specifically.
Yeah.
I think they did a good job at hiding that.
By and large.
I think that was well concealed because they did a good job at portraying it, because every time that information came around, they were just like, look, more men are coming. There will be more soldiers here very soon.
And your first thought is the same as Caesar's, which is men equal bad against ape.
Exactly. And
Well, yeah, they think, because if you're in Caesar's position, you hear more men are coming, potentially the same as all the other soldiers.
right.
Because the colonel's not giving them all of the information.
Right.
Is, oh, there are more to help us. They're coming to help us. And then you find out, oh, fuck no. They're coming here to stop him.
Which is precisely why he's building a wall.
Oh,
Which is, by the way, another instance of soldiers being bad at soldiering.
Yeah. Super bad.
They launch an attack on them with helicopters first, and it's initially like pretty successful, right? But also, apparently that entire wall was filled with explosives, and there's a giant bomb tank, like just right in the middle of the yard.
So yeah,
and nobody was like, maybe I should shoot a rocket at that.
Yeah.
They were like, we're going to shoot this fucking wooden wall.
Okay. Then again, there's a good chance that the forces coming in to stop Harrison's character have no fucking idea about that tank or
now,
that
if they're
wall.
flying that helicopter. Now, the thing is that, okay, whenever you're looking at the structure, the facility that they've established themselves in.
Which is not a great defensible position.
Oh, no, not at all. Because it's kind of in this, like, crescent moon-shaped valley beneath a mountain.
Which, okay,
in a
could
snowy
be
area. Potentially could be a great location, considering...
If it clearly wasn't an avalanche risk.
Well, considering the fact... Okay, so the thing is that it's...
Being buried is not the best way to be Well, I guess, underground
kind of.
bunkers, but...
Yeah, so anyway, so they're in this kind of C-shaped valley beneath this mountain, this snowy mountain, and then you've got the fortress, which I guess was some kind of like prison facility. Because
It was a weapons depot.
A weapons depot, that's what it was. So it's clearly designed for military. It's very defensible, but one whole side of it, the side facing out away from the mountain, is exposed. And they've been making effort towards rebuilding it and putting big rocks in the way, and they're creating a new wall.
Which
not
clearly...
a very good wall, because again, whenever you're looking at this place, it is very obviously the weakest point on the facility.
Also, it's worth noting that, like, once they show the force that's coming to attack them, which is just all of the soldiers
would not
with, like,
help
tanks
at all.
And shit. Yeah, no. They're like, we have kind of this wooden wall thing with, like, some guns on it.
Yeah, no, okay, so
No.
First off, they're crazy. I mean, I know we keep tossing that around quite a bit, but I don't know that they knew how many people were being sent against them. Because, I mean, you're right. That is an overwhelming force that's coming their direction.
Yeah.
And in that situation, that is not the appropriate military strategy in order to be able to deal with
Now,
that
the
threat.
appropriate military strategy for that is run the fuck away.
Retreat. That's
Well, and
exactly right.
Again, as mentioned earlier, I don't think anybody but the colonel knew, A, that they were not coming to help, they were coming to stop him, and
I don't know.
B,
See, my argument there is that he rallied all his guys that same morning in anticipation for them. And they all quickly jumped to the wall and started fighting without question.
I think that they knew that the other humans were coming to fight them.
I think
but
that
I
everybody
don't think
was
that
on
they
board.
I don't think they had a full idea of the scope.
Right. I honestly think that all of his men that were there at that facility were on point with him as far as how they were now outcasts as far as what was going on. But
because
I think,
they have to do what's right.
right.
Yada, yada.
I think I honestly think that everyone
yeah, I
at that
forgot
base
about
was
that
on
part of the
board.
speech.
Yeah. I honestly think that because they all did the same thing. He's like, every one of my men have made this sacrifice. And I honestly think that is actually, that's them siding with him, knowing full well that they don't have that backing anymore. And that's why they're building a wall. Because if you had more guys coming, why would you block them out? I mean, it's not like this is a defensible location and all that good stuff. I mean, to a degree.
It's genuinely, I just fucking forgot that part of the speech.
Yeah. But they end up going through, and Caesar's trying to sneak all the apes out while this battle's getting ready to kick off. Right? Yeah. Which is kind of awesome.
And then Caesar's also like, okay, so while Maurice can handle the evacuation, I'm going to go get my revenge.
I'm going to do this thing. And it starts to work. he gets up there, and it's just him and the Colonel. They're by their little lonesome.
Him, the Colonel, and a bucket of chicken.
Him, the Colonel, and a bucket of chicken, otherwise known as a gun.
Yeah,
One single gun.
a Kentucky Fried Pistol.
But he can't do it.
Well,
why can't he kill him, Josie?
Well, because after fighting his way up there, he gets into the room and Harrison's character has gone mute.
Yep.
Infected by the doll that Caesar had brought that was Nova's.
Right. So
Because-
Nova, the little girl that we ended up picking up along the way, she has a doll. And that doll has some blood on it.
I was about to say, didn't she get like a nosebleed?
Yeah.
Nosebleed is one of the first symptoms because Woody Harrelson also has it. So did the guys in the shallow grave.
So the thing is that Nova's been tracking around with this thing for a while, and Caesar's been imprisoned, actually at the
Pretty much
facility.
everybody except for Maurice, Bad Monkey, Rocket, and
Bad Ape.
Yeah, why do we call him Bad Monkey?
I don't know.
That's rude.
Because Dire Monkey mixed with Bad Ape.
Yeah.
Bad Ape.
Bad Ape.
Bad Dire.
He's like, what did I do?
It's like most of his. Oh yeah, the silverback dude died,
Yeah.
which
is
is a bummer.
unfortunate. Yeah,
he's
that's
like
sad.
stabbed.
Yeah.
But basically, all of the team that isn't Caesar is the team that's like digging out from underneath the facility because
But
they aren't captured.
Caesar's straight up captured, though. Like, they've got him on display in the middle of everything because they're using the apes that they've captured. The humans are using those apes to build the wall because they're bigger and stronger. So you're going to build the wall. And they got Caesar on display. And Caesar's like, you're not feeding my people. You're not taking care of my people. They're dying. You know, they can, you're sure they can do this thing, but you got to be able, you got to feed them.
Also, I'd like to point out,
And that ends up not being a thing.
so I'm sure that in the end their plan was to just kill the apes once the wall was
Oh,
done.
yeah, absolutely.
But
Well, to work them to death.
well, yeah, but the problem here is that they are bigger and stronger, and you expect an enemy force at an unknown amount of time to arrive. You don't want a potentially revolutionary force that is physically superior to you inside your base when
When the fight starts.
when the fight starts popping
Because
up.
then it becomes a friend of my, or an enemy of my enemy.
Yeah, well, that's why they made there was a slight thing about making sure all of them were in the cages before the force got there, so that none of them were free, and that when the assault happened, they'd be sitting ducks.
Right. So but they're not feeding the apes as the construction's going along.
They
But then
do a little later.
Then well, the thing is that Caesar is actively being used in this scenario, and what I mean by that is the apes aren't getting fed. And he's like, you have to feed them. They need food and water. You have to do this thing. And Woody Harrelson's character is like, the hell I do, and I'll show you how. And he threatens to kill Caesar in front of all of them. And, of course, they're all like, no, whoa, no, time out. We can still work. It's fine. Don't kill our leader.
Because Caesar's he's Ape Jesus.
He is Ape Jesus. So,
oh my God, he even sacrifices his life for them. He's Ape Jesus, guys.
so he's being used. And I think at that moment he realizes that he's being used.
Well, yeah.
And I know he knows that he's being used. I think that the frustration there is that he can't do anything about it, because even if he dies, then they won't work. If they don't work, then they'll just kill him because they're useless. So he's trying to find a way to keep them alive. And then the next scene is whenever Nova's managed to she just walks into the base.
Well, because no
one's paying attention. No one's looking for a kid.
Which is, damn it, have sentries on the damn wall. You got
Right?
a damn wall for
None
a
of them
damn
are paying
reason.
attention. She just walks into the base.
You have a
walks
big hole
straight
in your
there.
fucking wall, and nobody's watching that fucking hole.
This little girl just comes strutting into the base, walks over there and starts giving them food and water. And then he's like, hey, give the other apes food and water. So she starts helping them out.
And then some
she drops her doll.
because some soldiers are coming and she has to go hide.
And then that's when Woody Harrelson's character finds said doll. And he picks it up and he's like,
The fuck?
He's looking at it and he looks at Caesar and he's like, the fuck is this thing? Like, he doesn't piece it together at all because there's nothing to piece together for him.
He's like, why do you have a doll?
He doesn't know. He's just like, where did this come from?
yeah, like how the fuck?
Did you keister a doll in
Yeah,
here?
well, what the shit? So then he takes it back upstairs, and you don't ever think of it again. And the next thing you know, whenever Caesar battles his way up there, and he's like, I am going to get my revenge, and he fights his whole way up there, and he gets up there, and then he's got that stupid doll that's caused him to become muted, and he's got a bloody nose, he's muted, and he's got a gun sitting there, and he's pointing the gun at Woody, and he's like, no. And of course, Woody Harrelson wants him to kill him because he recognizes what's going on with him. Still a part of his mission. He's like, this is still a part of the plan. I am infected, therefore I apply to the same rules. I need to die, and my body needs to be burned, and all my possessions need to be burned. You need to stop this, right? But he's like, no, I'm not doing this for you, man. He puts the gun down. Of course, Woody Harrelson just shoots himself in the head. Kills him dead.
And then the soldiers show up and they're like, oh my God, you done killed the colonel.
What did you do? Where's Colonel Sanders and why do you have his bucket? So he ends up
Where
getting...
are we going to get our chicken?
Oh no. So they end up getting back outside, and you got all the soldiers that are descending on them from outside. You got the fight that's going on the inside, and the apes are trying to get away through the middle. And
yeah, they're caught in the middle of it.
Literally in the middle of it. And then there's that moment at the very end of all of the fighting when, the forces have stopped and all the men have ran their way in there, and they're standing there, and the apes are kind of like off to the side. And one of them like turns and looks, and he's just staring at him. It's the one soldier staring at the ape up there on the side, and then slowly, like, the next few guys keep turning around until everybody's turned around and looking at him. And they're like, "Oh, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be real bad." And that's when Jareth was right. That's when the old gypsy woman killed them all.
Yep.
Because there's an avalanche.
Avalanche.
Damn Cheryl and her fucking gypsy woman.
Her remarkably accurate gypsy woman.
There's an actual gypsy in the movie?
No.
No. We're making a reference to Archer.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
fuck that show.
So there's actually an avalanche. Yeah, he doesn't watch cartoons. There's actively an avalanche.
Okay, it's America. He's allowed to be wrong.
I know, that's fine. There's actively an avalanche. It crushes the base and wipes out all of the soldiers.
If the apes... Sorry, go ahead.
There is the one moment right beforehand where the monkey or the ape from earlier, or was it? It may have been a gorilla, but the one that was with the soldiers that had donkey written on him.
Oh, yeah.
Turns and just start, like...
Oh, yeah, he has his quote-unquote salvation moment for them.
Well, he has his moment of, fuck it, they're going to kill me no matter what. They're gonna.
So he fucking grenade launchers the dude who shot
Caesar.
Yeah.
So, and I don't remember what his name was.
Seems like a solid comeuppance.
Was
he gets grenade launchered.
Was it Snowflake?
Oh,
He's the giant white ape. Could you go up to the names?
Well, yeah, but that's not that character.
Right, I know, but
because all of the former Kobas are now donkey.
Winter. That's his name.
Because Winter betrays them.
Yep, Winter betrays him early on. He's the one that let the other one go.
This one in particular.
Yeah. And yeah, Winter is
I guess Red Donkey, is that his name?
Yes.
Yeah, he's the one that at the end that goes. Oh,
when they're explaining, because so Red Donkey was the one that was originally coming in with the first wave. That was looking for the base to begin with.
He gets captured. Winter releases him.
Winter mock releases him because he like actually releases him, but he takes that lump up the side of the head to make it look like the guy escaped.
Yeah.
Red Donkey gets away,
and then Winter
goes to the base. That's when Caesar tracks down Winter and he kills Winter. Because that's the first moment we find out that there are more men coming.
Because Winter also told them where the hideout was.
Right.
Which led to the death of Caesar's son and
all of
other apes.
And he's like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry. Oops." Yeah.
A little late for oops.
Sorry, no oops here. And they end up choking out Winter and killing him dead. And surprisingly, that didn't bring any suspicion amongst the troops the night before they roll out to their main base.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
I mean, they're
like they didn't, like nothing happens with that.
well,
Like at all. Like there's a dead giant white ape gorilla in the tent right here where they were cleaning dishes, and no one says a word about it the next day. Everyone just loads up camp and leaves like nothing happens. They don't have like an extra patrol. They're not on guard about anything. It's just the guy that spoon fed us the information of where the base is, is dead now.
What do you keep trying to say, Josie?
The probably the attitude is, oh, he already gave us what we wanted.
True.
Fuck it. Let's not waste our time riding donkey on him. Let's just fucking kill him here. And so they were like, oh, okay, so I guess that's just what happened, and then they moved on.
Fair.
I guess my concern is the fact that a normal human being is never, ever in 100 years going to be able to choke a fucking gorilla out.
Yeah.
I don't even have big enough hands, even if I was strong enough.
Well,
Yeah.
that's if you're doing it barehanded. If you have a wire or
Bare
a rope or anything like that, you suddenly change the
True.
physics of it.
But he's also a gorilla.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
a big gorilla. So anyway, Red Donkey was one of the original, like, pre
All you have
this
to do
movie.
is crush the windpipe. You
True.
can do
Yeah.
it with your thumbs.
I mean, maybe if you can get that close to a
You bring
giant
me a
ape
gorilla, I'll choke it out.
Okay,
I mean,
but
Okay, so the gorilla is trusting you as a human because it gave you all the information. It's going to let you get that close.
I mean, perhaps
I know, it's just then you're now, because choking somebody takes a minute.
it's
and
not
you're
like
going to be stuck right there
In
with
proximity.
a gorilla
Yeah.
who no longer is going to trust you the moment
'cause
he
you're
stops
trying-
being able to breathe.
Oh yeah,
They
you're
can't-
trying to kill it.
and they can't pop their arms out of their shoulders and spin around and grab them if you get yourself correctly on his back with a piece of rope and your foot on the back of him.
I guess it's possible.
I mean, it's-
There is ways for this to be a thing that happened.
Maybe.
I know.
I just also
that's
think
the ballsiest way to kill a gorilla.
I
out
just
there.
think that what I'm saying is I think that okay, I will grant to you, Dire Monkey, and you, Josie, yes, there is a way for you to actually accomplish this task of choking out a gorilla.
We do not promote choking out gorillas.
No,
Well,
not
yeah,
at all.
we don't
But what
promote
I'm
Also,
saying is
you have guns.
also what I'm saying is there is a way, sure, but
And finite ammo.
there is
Yeah.
a way, sure, but what I'm trying to say is that none of the people there either A, heard it happen, B, lay claim to actually killing this thing, and C, it doesn't arise any suspicion whatsoever. That's the part that I'm missing out on. That's the part that it's like maybe, even if it was the traitor that ended up flipping over to your side, perhaps some extra looking at was required there.
Well, they were clearly in a hurry.
Right. Maybe.
And clearly they hadn't been making great decisions this whole
Yeah,
time.
they're not exactly making the best decisions,
And
so
again,
we'll chalk it up under that.
It's a form of racism. They don't give two shits that this ape is dead now.
Well,
They got what they wanted out of him.
speciesism.
Speciesism?
Speciesism. Right?
Yeah,
Speciesism?
Something like that.
Spazzleisms?
it's clearly
But Red Donkey,
Yeah, you're right. It's just they are literally a different species. But yeah.
Red Donkey ends up.
Red monkey.
He's one of the ones that was with Koba before the film started,
Yeah.
and now that Koba's dead, they've all been disbanded. Well, he's been like on the side of the humans the entire time, and he's been helping them even during the final fight where the other humans are showing up. He's giving them like rocket launchers and handing them all the stuff, and that's when Caesar's down in the pit that's right behind him, trying to
Blow up the wall.
Well, yeah, he's trying to blow up the wall because he chucks a grenade at it.
Or he was about to chuck a grenade and then he gets arrowed.
That's whenever the dude that he let go to begin with shoots him with the arrow. And of course, Red Donkey's witnessing all of that. And like I said, this is his saving moment because he turns around and he was like, no, you and I are both apes. Like, this is, you can tell this is kind of like the thoughts going through his head. He's like, wait, no.
Plus, like, as Josie said, he
human
knows
beings.
100% that he's boned.
Screw human beings. Clearly, these guys are going to wipe us out, and I'm going to die either way.
I mean,
might
shit,
as well.
him and Caesar even had that exchange.
Yeah, they have that look.
like it's straight
Martha.
up. They only want to keep you alive to fight the humans that are coming to fight us,
Right.
And then the minute that because these
Either
idiots,
side.
either side wins. If the guys that are coming to stop the colonel win, they're gonna kill all of the ones that have donkey sprayed on them because they were loyal to the colonel.
Yep.
Also, they're still apes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're still apes. Well, and they were Koba.
Yeah.
Like, they were part of Koba. So there's not even a, like, oh, well, you were one of Caesar's people. So you were-
Koba Commander.
But, like, yeah, no, it's one of those, like, if those guys win, they're going to kill you because you're a war criminal.
Right.
And if the colonel's people win, they're going to kill you
Because
because...
you've outlasted your usefulness.
Yeah.
I mean, not potentially.
And
You're
if
still
the
big
apes
and
win, they're going to kill you because...
You're a traitor.
Yeah. You're a total
It's
dickhole.
pretty much one of those, like, well,
Well, I'm
fuck
fucked.
it.
So he picks up the grenade launcher.
I might as well choose my species for my last thing.
China Lake's that motherfucker.
I pick where I'm going to die, and he does. Man, he rocket jumps that fucking.
I'm going to take out as many of you motherfuckers with me as I can.
He does exactly that, and
actually, I think he only kills the guy because the other dude turns around and is like, "Well, fuck you," and then he gets him with the gun.
Blows up the entire wall, which is his actions.
Yeah, which helps cause the avalanche and shit.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, but I meant Caesar is the one who actually blows up the wall.
He killed them all.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, transitive property.
Property, man, for the win.
He's intelligent enough to understand that he's fucked either way, so he might as well cause an avalanche that's going to kill as many, especially because humans don't got thick ass fur, so they're going to die.
Yeah, you all can't climb.
You don't know that.
You all can't climb trees like we can, which is how they end up surviving.
Yeah,
they all just jumped up trees.
Yeah, they're like, shit, fuck this, up the trees.
They're lucky that avalanche didn't kill those trees.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
yeah. I mean,
but they're pretty low on the avalanche, like. Things.
Yeah, they were at the bottom of the mountain.
And they also showed a few of the trees with apes in them knocking over.
Yeah.
And it being an issue. They do show Caesar's people, not all of them made it out from that.
Okay, so is this... Okay, so the bridge between the two franchises is now complete, right? There's not another one following this for this story arc?
Yeah.
Is there?
They're already doing a fourth.
What's the fourth one?
I don't know. Monkeys living in a lake party monkey house.
Well,
that sounds right.
It's supposed to be more of
does it have a thing? Does it have a
release date or at least a production date?
Just confirmed. That's all it is.
So they know that they're going to do one, but there's nothing else known. I mean, they're consistently making money, so of course there's going to be another one.
Well, as long as they stay good.
Yeah, I think it's part of the initial problem with the first films, don't you think, Jareth? Because you watched most of the originals, didn't you?
I have seen all of them, but I can't say that I remember all of them incredibly well. But yeah, no, it spawned like fucking...
What's your favorite?
6?
Like all of them together. So
damn it.
Not just... So these three so far...
So these three included?
Included, all of them. So the Bark Wahlberg one...
then I'm going with that one.
Yes,
with the weird monkey kiss. Yeah,
you like that one?
The Tim Burton fucking.
And just like that, everybody was a furry.
It really was. He made his own wife equivalent a fucking furry for that movie.
In October 2016, it was announced that a fourth Planet of the Apes film was already being planned. Yes, that is on IMDb for trivia for War of Planet of the Apes.
I think that as far as the franchise, all of it goes, I'd have to either pick this one or the first, like the original. No,
the original Planet
of the Apes. If for no other reason, I like War for the Planet of the Apes better, but there's obviously something to be said for the cultural significance of Planet of the Apes,
right?
And a good number of its sequels are just a delight, but like in the worst way.
Yeah.
Like they're not good movies.
Like Super Mario Brothers.
No.
Different kind of awful.
I mean, because, okay, so Super Mario Brothers is bad good, but like also it was trying to be funny.
Okay.
These are just mostly not good. Now, some of them are actually just great, and that's good, but...
Well, it's the problem of there's a bigger sin than being... For movies, there's a bigger sin than being bad. It's being boring.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Because you have like The Room or Birdemic or Super Mario Brothers where it's fucking hilarious to goddamn watch this and make fun of it.
Okay.
Like I've mentioned How Did This Get Made before. Like they have an entire podcast of watching bad movies like that.
Yeah.
And then you have really good movies like these movies. But then you have movies that they're not good and they're not funny for being
and they're boring.
Bad. They're just fucking boring.
Hey,
There's something that happens to you.
Do you know a movie that's like that?
Gravity.
Oh, I knew
Gravity.
How did I know you say that?
Also, The Village.
Hey, now The Village. I like parts of The Village,
but it was so boring.
But I liked parts.
It
of
can
The
get
Village.
fucked in the ass by a garden. Though.
Okay, that's fine.
It was.
Josie,
there are better bad M. Night Shyamalan-Lamalans.
Shyamalama Ding Dong.
Yeah.
M-Dog.
Yeah, that guy. So, you have a favorite so far of all these?
It would have to be this one. I only saw the original one back when I was like 17 or 18, like once. Fucking. And then these ones.
Yeah, I love that you're just like rolling laughing over here behind the computers, Dire Monkey. So I think that pretty well covers most of these films. I do have a question. I know that at one point in time I was wanting to start it. Have you, Josie, thought of a couple of movies that exist in the same universe as one another and the implications of it?
I've been trying to, but my brain just can't think of any other than
Got
the ones
nothing?
that actually are connected.
Okay, that's fair. Jareth, do you know any others other than the ones you've already said? See, I still go back to my response of Cool World exists in the background of every movie ever.
Conan the Barbarian.
All right.
And Sex and the City, the movie.
Which Conan?
The original Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay,
All
Arnold, not The Rock.
All right, so...
No, it's not The Rock.
It's not The Rock.
It's Jason Momoa.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
He's not wrong.
Oh, it was Hercules that had The Rock. Okay.
Was Hercules
Yes?
The Rock?
Is there a
Yep.
Hercules movie with The Rock? Why have I not seen this?
Because it's not good.
So? Like, is it good, bad, or bad, bad?
Bad.
Oh.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson, 2014.
Well, hot damn.
Yeah, buddy. Oh, that's the one where he's wearing like the lion skin and stuff.
Nope.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's got a 6.0 out of 10.
It does have a 6.0 out of 10. That's only, 1.9 behind War for Planet of the Apes. So by,
This movie's got to be great.
some kind of math property, it's
Yeah,
gotta be
that's because grading scales on number bases are dumb.
well, yeah, numbers mean whatever you want them to mean. All right, so how in the world explain the implications of these two existing the same in
I'm
universe?
failing to see what you don't understand here.
Spoon feed it to me.
Okay. So, Sex and the City takes place thousands of years before Conan the Barbarian.
Okay.
After a nuclear apocalypse
Okay.
brought on by, I guess, sex and the city happening, everybody reverts back to barbarians.
Okay. And magic?
Yeah.
Because magic becomes a thing? Because the nuclear waste, right? Because the bomb?
That there nuclear waste.
Showing how little Jareth knows about Sex and the City.
Well, okay, so I don't disagree entirely with this. I mean,
What, you've never heard about the great nuclear threat caused by that film?
It's called The Big Bang for a reason.
Oh, I see what he did there. Oh, you get a low drum roll on that one. So I think that kind of wraps up where we're at right there. I think that we covered War for Planet of the Apes.
I mean, we pretty
decently.
much just ran through the whole fucking movie.
I mean,
so.
why not? I mean, I liked it. I really did. I think that it bridged a few of the gaps, the disconnects that we were seeing between where that franchise started and where the other one was.
Like the plot hole that
Yeah.
Josie brought up.
Yeah, I think that it puts a lot of those things together. I do like some of the nods. I can't help but think that maybe after a few centuries that Nova just becomes
Like
common.
every girl is called Nova.
Yeah,
No,
because-
it actually explains it quite well. All the
Does
different tie-ins, yeah.
Does it? Okay.
And Charlton Heston made a appearance in this movie.
Wait, what?
Well, he was also in that horrible fucking Tim Burton one, too.
Yes.
But
That
he's
one.
dead now.
Yeah.
But
Well.
the voice of Maurice
Yes.
was Charlton Heston when he said Nova. Gave Nova her name. Maurice,
Awesome.
Cute.
Nice.
Maurice is named after the actor that played Cornelius, the orangutan in the original one.
Which is the son of Caesar
Caesar.
in this film.
Yep.
Plenty of bows. Plenty
Whoa,
of nods.
hot dimmy
And there's a
again.
lot of Maurice becoming the lawgiver, which becomes the orangutan lawgivers and record keepers in the original series,
And in the one with Mark Wahlberg,
right?
Pronounced Orange Tang.
Which then
which was awful.
erase or rewrite history, making apes always the predominant species.
Probably not
Which
a
is
great call, but
Well, it's what most powers do whenever they.
Oh, yeah, whitewash history.
Check out the
I mean,
trivia
it's-
on IMDb sometime.
Yeah, oh,
It
yeah.
ties a lot of things in.
That's fantastic. Well, I appreciate you contributing right there
What
at
I
the
did.
end.
This I've noticed in the last couple episodes, this podcast has become more of just tell Dire Monkey what happens in the movies.
Well, it's because you haven't seen the film.
Yeah. So
So you do a little bit of reading, a little bit of research. All right, fair.
and then I leave here feeling like I've seen the entire movie.
I mean, kind of.
At least you know the synopsis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The nitpicky parts.
Oh, and this is definitely getting nominated for
Ooh, wait.
technical awards.
I knew a new X-Men. Synopsis. His power is just to summarize things.
Love it. Love everything about it. I'm all on board with that.
Because
All right.
does that word not sound like a
It
mutant,
does sound like
code name?
No, it definitely sounds like a bad guy.
Like, I'm Synopsis. Oh, he spoils everything for everybody.
It sounds like Sinestro.
Wait, can I be that bad guy?
I mean, I guess if you want.
Yeah.
No, the reason why it sounds like a bad guy is because it sounds like Sinestro.
Yeah, it does have sin in it.
Yeah, that always contributes to being a villain.
It's like Sin and Mal tend to both be like bad guy name prefixes.
Yeah. Or anything with like Apocalypse.
Well, I mean, that's a fucking given.
Anything that Apocalypse does.
Hi guys, I'm Apocalypse. I'm just like the nicest X-Man.
Yeah.
I'm like mutantly nice. That's his only power.
What's your power? Well, I spontaneously grow rabbits in my proximity, and
I bake a mean cake.
I give to the poor.
You laugh, but Squirrel Girl is one of the most powerful characters in the fucking Marvel universe.
I am fully aware of that, and Squirrel Girl is flipping amazing. I love everything about her. But she's even beat up Galactus.
Yes.
She's also beat up Thanos.
Yep.
And Doctor Doom like a couple times.
Yup.
Also, up until Suicide Squad, one of the most cosplay characters at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Squirrel
Thanks,
Girl.
Suicide Squad.
Because Squirrel Girl. I love everything about it. So, all right.
Destroyed
The
Harlequin.
last Comic-Con I went to,
What's
granted, was right after Suicide Squad. There was no Squirrel Girls and about a billion Harley Quinns.
Oh, yeah,
course.
and
Well, I
Margot
mean-
Robbie Harley Quinns.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new ones.
There was like 400 of them whenever we went and saw Suicide Squad at the theater.
That's true as well.
It was awful.
I hate
Well,
that
I
version
mean,
of...
you weren't really complaining.
Actually, I did the entire time, if you don't remember.
I remember
I was
you-
incredibly annoyed.
I remember you actively complaining about the movie, too.
Yeah, because the movie fucking sucks a donkey dick.
More so than the Harley Quinns.
Wait, no, we didn't. I didn't see it in the theater with you guys, but we were there for a different movie that night.
Yeah, because we were talking about that.
And then there was, because I ended up seeing it
After
in
the
another
fact.
totally legitimate way that is not illegal at all.
Yes.
Cough, cough. This is not an admission of guilt. But like we went there and it was just like this sea of Harley Quinns,
Yep.
and it's just like everything was awful.
You should have dressed as the Jared Leto Joker. Then you would have.
And it'd be especially weird since we were not there to see that movie.
Or you could have just dressed as Harley Quinn.
Hey.
Yeah, and just go as Harley Quinn to like
Be like-
another movie,
No, but go as the original cartoon version with the full
like the bodysuit.
cat suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Love everything about it. All right, boys and girls, we will all see you all in the next episode of Spoilercast by All Tower Media. Bye.
Bye.
Make sure to check out our website, All Tower. Fucking hell.
Bloody hell, mate.
Let me try that one again.